So you're ready to buy your home and you feel like you're ready to go out looking and shopping because you've been pre-qualified. Wrong. No way, no how. Hi y'all, it's Carmene and I'm here to help. Today we're going to discuss the difference between pre-qualification for a home loan and pre-approval. First, pre-qualification is informal and self-reported, meaning that you are the one who gives the bank the information. It's not a formal inquiry. It's just kind of like dipping your toe in the water so that you can get an estimate of what you look like, if you are likely to be pre-approved for a loan. It's just kind of putting your feelers out there. You want to test the waters. Now, with pre-approval, you actually need to show proof of the information that you are stating as to why you can afford this home, such as bank statements, social security numbers, your W-2s, etc., your tax returns, those kind of documents. You're going to need those kind of documents to back up the claims of your current income and your current debt. The pre-qualification is done quickly and usually online or over the phone. You'll get those emails, or you might get an ad on Google or something and say pre-qualify for your next home loan. Click this button here. You'll click the button, put in like your annual income, your best guesstimate of your credit score, if it's good, fair, poor, that kind of stuff. And from there, they will give you an answer. If you pre-qualify, they'll say, sure, you pre-qualify for a home loan on, say, $700,000 based off the information you gave us. And then you'll see another button after that that will say, click here and upload your documents. That's when you begin the pre-approval process, and that's completely different. Also, the pre-qualification approval will literally take maybe 30 seconds. Like, it's just a little form algorithm or something that the computer runs. You put your information in and it spits out an answer by the time, it takes your screen to refresh. On the other hand, on the pre-approval side, that can take one day up to a couple of weeks. And this all just kind of depends on how fast you get your documents into the loan officer who's doing your case, so they can send it to the underwriter. Another thing to think about is your pre-qualification is not a formal inquiry, meaning that when they spit out a number in those 30 seconds, they have not run your credit report. It will not show up on your credit report. Therefore, it's called a soft inquiry, meaning that it's not going to affect you positive or negatively, whether you are approved or denied. On the other hand, you have the pre-approval, which is a hard inquiry, which means that when they run your credit report, it's going to be a notation on your credit report that says you have just approved or applied for a home loan in the amount of $700,000, and it would also probably indicate whether or not you've been approved or denied. So that's a hard inquiry that will stay on your credit report. I think I want to say 3 to 7 years, maybe 5 to 7 years. Don't quote me on that. Look it up. That's what Google's for. But that will stay on your credit report, and it will, you can only have so many inquiries before it starts to affect your credit score. So remember, pre-qualification, soft inquiry, pre-approval, hard inquiry. That's a good difference right there. Another thing to think about is the pre-qualification gives you a good idea and an estimate of what you can approve for. But again, they're just basing this off of your word and you being honest about your credit score, your income, your debt, those kind of things that kind of go into what a mortgage officer or a bank will decide whether or not you're worthy credit risk. On the other hand, a pre-approval tells you and the home sellers exactly how much the bank is willing to lend you. There's no guess about it. They will give you an exact number of what they are willing to lend you based off of your income qualifications and the rest of the verifications that they've done to decide whether or not to give you the loan. And one of the most important things is that home sellers do not care if you are pre-qualified. An experienced buyer's agent will not care if you are pre-qualified. They will not even entertain you as far as taking you out to look at properties if you have not been pre-approved. So a pre-qualification basically gets you nowhere. And that's just for you to let you know whether or not you're on a good path to go ahead and get pre-approved. On the other hand, a pre-approval is absolutely mandatory. If you want to put an offer in on the home, the seller is going to ask to see your pre-approval letter or your DU letter. And that is the letter from the bank that states exactly how much money you've been approved for. So they know that you're a serious buyer, so that if they decide to accept your offer, that they will most likely not fall out of escrow. They won't have any problems with you finding financing. It should just literally just be a matter of inspection, making sure the bank approves of the home and that it fits their parameters of what they're willing to finance. And once that goes through, it's just, a matter of just waiting for the rest of the documentation to be solidified. So again, a pre-approval is mandatory if you want to put it in an offer, and it's pretty much mandatory for an experienced buyer's agent to work with you. So pre-approval is of the utmost importance. So don't forget, pre-qualification is for you to get a better idea of whether or not you'll be approved, and a pre-approval is the bank telling you specifically, yes, we will give you a loan, and this is how much we'll give you the loan for. So this is the type of homes you should be looking for in this price range. Remember, I'm Carmene of the Lorraine Realty Group, and I'm here to help.